At 61, Melissa Gilbert finally reveals the truth about Melissa Sue Anderson. Melissa Ellen Gilbert was born. Melissa Ellen Gilbert was born on May 8, 1964, in Los Angeles, California, USA, which is in the middle of the entertainment world. She was born to David Darlington and Kathy Wood. Her biological parents were having a hard time with money when she was born and weren't sure if they could give her the stability and chances she needed. They knew they couldn't do everything and wanted the best for their new daughter, so they made the hard and selfless choice to put Melissa up for adoption. This early act of love and planning set the foundation for a life that would be very connected to the world of show business. Melissa was adopted practically right away. Just one day after she was born, actors Paul Gilbert and Barbara Crane took her home. Paul Gilbert had been acting for decades, while Barbara Crane had a background as both an actress and a brilliant dancer. Barbara was also the daughter of famous comic writer Harry Crane, whose work made some of the most unforgettable moments on TV. Melissa was up in a place where the arts were everywhere, with creativity, performance, and the pressures of Hollywood life all around her. When she was 8, her adoptive parents got a divorce, which had a big effect on her early development. Barbara would eventually marry Harold Abels, but this marriage also ended in divorce. Melissa got a half-sister named Sarah Rebecca Abels from her second marriage. She was born on January 29, 1975, and later changed her name to Sarah Gilbert. She went on to have a great career on television, most famously on Roseanne. Sadly, Melissa's adoptive father, Paul Gilbert, died on February 13, 1976, after having a stroke. This left little Melissa to deal with the problems of life without him. She grew up in the Jewish faith and followed its practices and values, even though she never legally converted. This spiritual basis would become one of the many parts of her colorful and varied childhood. Melissa showed incredible aptitude as a performer at a very young age. Her innate talent and the fact that her adoptive parents worked in Hollywood gave her an early taste of performing and show business. One of her first jobs was in a commercial for Alpo dog food, where she worked with the famous actor Lauren Green. These kinds of chances not only helped her get better at what she did, but they also taught her how tough and competitive the field is. Melissa got her big break when she was cast as Laura Less, the second oldest daughter of Charles Less, who was played by Michael Landon in the NBC show Little House on the Prairie. It was quite hard to get the part because more than 500 kids tried out for it. In the end, Melissa's natural charm, hard work, and presence on screen got her the part. Leslie Landon, Michael Landon's daughter and a classmate of Melissa's, told her that she had been chosen. Jonathan Gilbert, her brother, also joined the show as Willie Olson. The show was made in 1973 and ran from 1974 until 1983. Over time, the historical drama became a cultural phenomenon that people of all ages loved. Melissa's portrayal of Laura made her a household name. Little House on the Prairie was the most important part of her early career, but Melissa also worked on feature films and kept working on her television career. She played important parts in well-received movies such as The Miracle Worker 1979, The Diary of Anne Frank 1980, Splendor in the Grass 1981, and Choices of the Heart 1983, where she played the humanitarian Jean Donovan. As she became older, she took on more adult roles, such as those in Choices 1986 and A Family of Strangers 1993. Melissa did both live action and voice work for animated shows. One of the most famous roles she played was Batgirl in the 1990s animated series Batman. In 1996, she played Anna Sheridan in 3 episodes of Babylon 5. At the time, her husband, Bruce Boxleitner, was also in the show. Melissa's job also had its ups and downs, with certain projects not going as planned. She had problems with movies including Little House, A New Beginning 1982, Stand By Your Man 1992, and Sweet Justice 1994. But she didn't give up. She kept looking for a wide range of positions. She played Cher Noble, a patient having a sensitive cosmetic treatment, on the TV show Niptic in 2006. This showed that she was willing to work with unusual and mature content. Melissa went back to her origins in Little House on the Prairie in a theatrical setting, in addition to her work on cinema. She played Caroline Ma in the musical version of the show that Francesca Zambalou directed from 2008 to 2009. The show opened at the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis and then went on a nationwide tour that ended at the Starlight Theater in Kansas City, Missouri. In June 2010, This project gave her a chance to engage with fans again in a live performance setting, showing how much she cared about the story that had shaped so much of her life. Melissa's 2009 autobiography, A Prairie Tale, is a book that gives readers a close look at her life in Hollywood, her family life, and how she has changed as an actor and a person. She kept acting in many things, such the Christmas pageant in 2011. She also learned how to dance and competed in the 14th season of Dancing with the Stars in 2012 with professional dancer Maxim Chmerkovskiy. She gave great performances that people will remember. She was sent home on her birthday in the 8th episode. Melissa's goals went beyond just having fun after she showed that she could be strong, graceful, and competitive. She said on August 10, 2015, that she would run for the United States House of Representatives from Michigan's 8th Congressional District in the 2016 elections. She did, however, drop out of the race when her health got worse because of a spinal injury. She not only acted and served the public, but she also became a producer and director. She started her own production business, Half Pint Productions, which gave her creative control over projects and helped other artists. Melissa Gilbert's personal life has been strongly linked to her marriages, which show different stages of her life and growth both personally and professionally. In 1988, she married actor Bo Brinkman for the first time. Brinkman, who is recognized for his work in theater and on TV, had a major role in Melissa's life during a time when she was growing up and moving from being a child star to a mature actress in Hollywood and figuring out who she was. Their marriage, however, had problems, which is common when both partners have busy jobs that require a lot of time and attention from the public. After 6 years of being married, the pair decided to split up and got divorced in 1994. Even though their relationship didn't last, it was an essential time for Melissa to learn what she wanted in a companion and in life. Melissa got married again soon after, this time to Bruce Boxleitner in 1995. Boxleitner, a well-known actor known for his roles in science fiction shows like Babylon 5 and Scarecrow and Mrs. King, had a close relationship with Melissa both at work and in real life. For 16 years, they were married and had to deal with the difficulties of combining children, careers, and public attention. As a pair, they were quite well known in Hollywood, and they helped each other with their professional careers and personal ventures. Even though they respected each other and had a lot in common, the marriage dissolved in 2011. Their divorce showed how hard it is to keep a long-term relationship going in the public glare, where stress from work, family obligations, and personal growth can break even the strongest ties. Melissa fell in love again in 2013 when she married Timothy Busfield, a well-known actor and director who worked on shows like The West Wing and 30 Some. This marriage marked a more solid and grown-up time in her life. At this point, Melissa had been through a lot in her life and knew herself and what she needed more than she did in her prior marriages. Timothy's calm temperament and creative background went well with Melissa's enthusiasm and artistic sensibility. Together, they formed a partnership based on respect, friendship, and shared principles. Their marriage has been marked by strong emotional support, teamwork, and a feeling of cooperation that shows what Melissa gained from her past relationships. Melissa Gilbert first talked about her relationship with her long-standing Little House on the Prairie co-star, Melissa Sue Anderson, in a forthright and highly intimate way at the age of 61. She revealed things that fans had always wondered about but never completely understood. Gilbert was honest in interviews and talked about how her relationship with Anderson was complicated, deep, and sometimes hard. From the start, we had a bond. Gilbert stated, "We were thrown into a world of fame and scrutiny when we were so young on Little House on the Prairie. That makes for a unique kind of friendship, but it wasn't always easy." Her statements suggest how hard it is to grow up in front of the camera and how stressful it may be to be a kid star. Gilbert went on to say that although their characters on screen had perfect family and friend relationships, things were much more challenging behind the scenes. People thought we were ideal little girls with wonderful lifestyles. She said, "But the truth is we were just kids trying to get through a very strange situation." Melissa Gilbert also thought about how relationships develop throughout time. She talked about how their friendship changed with time, saying that both she and Anderson had to deal with their own problems, career setbacks, and times of self-discovery as they got older. Gilbert said that we all have our own paths. It's normal for such paths to go in different directions sometimes. You can love someone a lot and still need to be alone. Gilbert's honesty shows that he is mature enough to recognize how relationships can change, especially those that start in unusual situations. She stressed that there was never any bad blood or bad feelings between them. Instead, they both knew that growing up within the spotlight made their bond special and not always fit the mold of a normal friendship. Gilbert showed a lot of love and affection for Anderson's skills and personality during her reflection. "Melissa Sue is one of the most real and talented people I've ever met," she stated. "Working with her taught me a lot about being professional, being patient, and the strength of being quiet." Gilbert remembered times on set when Anderson's hard work and focus made her want to be a better actress and person. She also talked on how close the cast and staff were with each other, saying that the actors, crew, and producers all felt like family. But she didn't shy away from saying that the long hours, busy schedule, and public attention may make tiny problems worse. Gilbert thought about how being watched all the time as a youngster transforms you. "There were times when I was jealous, confused, and unsure of myself, but that's just part of growing up in a world that doesn't let you be a kid." Gilbert went on to say why she selected this moment at 61 to finally be so honest. She said, "I think age gives you perspective. When you're young, you hold on to feelings and judgments that can change how things really are. Now I can see the complete image clearly when I look back. I can appreciate our shared history, both the good and the bad, without having to justify or defend myself to anyone." Her statement resonates with those who have followed her career, showing a sensitivity and self-reflection that is both accessible and very human. Gilbert's choice to talk about Anderson now is not meant to settle old scores or bring up old fights. Instead, it is meant to acknowledge the complicated relationship that has affected both women's lives for a long time. Lastly, Gilbert's statements remind viewers that relationships that start in childhood, especially when they are famous, are often not understood by the public. She said that people think that if you work on a show together, you're best buddies for life. But friendship isn't just about what happens. It's about how well you get along, the right time, and things you've done together. "Melissa Sue and I spent some of the most important years of our lives together. That link will always be there, even if it looks different now than it did back then." Gilbert's thoughts are a powerful reminder of how early experiences may shape who we are, how strong we need to be to live in public, and how there are deeper truths beneath the seemingly ideal picture of being a child star. Her honesty is an homage not only to Anderson, but also to the countless friendships that grow, change, and last in ways that aren't always clear to people on the outside.